Thank you.
Thank you.
Time now to talk about how the mainstream media is spinning this collision of two major crises with Independent Women's Forum Senior Fellow and District Media Group President Beverly Hallberg, along with the Federalist staff contributor Evita Duffy. I love talking about this because this is one of those issues where no matter how you slice it, you should be honest about what the country is facing here, Beverly. And yet at the same time, sometimes if you listen to, let's just say, different networks, you might get an entirely different viewpoint of how things are going. Let me share this from Mr. Biden yesterday talking about the goodwill of the American people as it relates to fear-mongering and welcoming immigrants.
The patience and goodwill of the American people is being tested by their fears at the border. They don't understand a lot of it.
Our banner said, soon Biden announces legal protections for undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens. CNN's banner said, Biden announces new protections for some undocumented spouses. Here was Fox's banner, migrant arrested for raping 13-year-old New York City.
Yes.
And so I think that's part of the problem, right?
Exactly.
Is that you have
That's
a lot
part
of fear-mongering.
Exactly.
Yeah, fear-mongering if it's not a family member of yours, and the laughter is just despicable, Beverly.
Well, what's kind of surprising, too, is that Joy Reid focused her segment on the Fox News headline, just not seeming to understand that Fox News also covered President Biden announcing this executive order. There just happens to be another story, a very big story, and that is the tragedy in New York where this 13-year-old girl was allegedly raped. Now, I'm glad we do have a small bright spot, and that is the neighborhood, the community coming together to apprehend the suspect. Yeah. So what it seems like Joy Reid doesn't understand is, first of all, what the news is. And as you were saying, for her to have this laugh to say that this is fear-mongering, how does that make this girl and her family feel on so many different levels? This is just poor taste, and I think just shows how Joy Reid really doesn't understand the news industry.
Evita, I think I speak for most people when I say it's disgusting to laugh, especially at something like that. And the argument will be it wasn't meant to make light of what happened, but she did laugh.
Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, Joy Reid is insulated from the crime that we're seeing from this immigration crisis. So she's somebody who has a doorman right in a penthouse who gets driven, just have to take the subway. So she's completely isolated from all of the really horrible things that regular Americans are being exposed to in blue city lawless areas. But here's another important thing is this is about Democrats not believing in freedom of information, because she's saying we can't report on the news if it doesn't actually jive with our narrative. The director of CISA, Jen Easterly, said that they believe the government's job is to protect Americans' cognitive infrastructure, meaning our minds. Democrats in the media and our federal government do not believe you should have freedom of information. They do not believe you should be allowed to say, think, and hear things that they do not approve of. That is exactly what I've heard from critics, and I think a lot of people would agree with you. In the 15 seconds or so we have left, I'd love to get you both quickly to weigh in on this. This is from Eric Levitz over at Fox. His headline says, Biden's ads haven't been working. Now he's trying something new. People are talking about this idea, Beverly, that what the president is really doing is he's trying to shift the focus again to threats to democracy, but it doesn't seem to be moving the needle very much. 15 seconds.
No, the economy does stand out. Now, I will say this. The debate is going to be huge next week. There is a low bar for President Biden. If he can just not stumble his way through it, I think that may play well for him. But he has some major issues, especially with the youth vote and his age.
Evita, 10 seconds.
Bidenomics is not working for regular Americans. People can't afford their rent or their groceries. Yep. And this open borders is not going to fix this problem at all.
Evita Duffy and Beverly Hallberg, thank you both so much for spending time with us tonight. We appreciate it. There are reportedly growing